Okay, move this out the way. All right, y'all. So this video, hold on, make sure. Okay, because we want to make sure this mic is on so you guys can hear me. So this video is not going to be long, but it's going to be very important. And I'm not going to do a whole bunch of editing and all that stuff because this situation is a real and a situation that needs to be talked about. So I myself have anxiety. Yes, just like a lot of people do. And throughout the years, I think I started off probably at the age of probably like 25 when I really noticed that I've had anxiety. So it's been a while. I'll just put it like that. Okay. We won't go into my age, but I'll just put it like that. Now, throughout this time, I have really found some things that I would say stop my anxiety in their tracks. Now, I'm not saying this is a foolproof method and it's going to work for everybody, but for most of you, I feel like it will work. So I just really felt it in my heart to share it, especially this time of year when, we get the most anxiety, the most depression, the most frustration because it's around the holidays. And, a lot of people can go down that dark path, especially around the holidays, right? So let me give you just a couple of things that I found will stop your anxiety in its tracks. Okay. So I think I'm going to try to go in order from what's best. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna do all that because that's gonna take too much brain power. So we're just gonna go. But I am going to then tell you out of all the things that I talk about, which one works the best for me. So let's talk. The first one is for me. If I find myself, I go from just chilling, hanging out, whatever, and all of a sudden, boom. Y'all ever had the moments where it's like you're hanging out, nothing's going on, nothing is wrong, and all of a sudden, boom, anxiety. You're like, what the? I realized, okay, let's do two scenarios because we're going to talk about the same kind of thing, but two scenarios. All right. So, say for instance, you're driving and you get those. I find it best to pull over and get out the car, especially when it's cold outside, because I find that cold and anxiety do not mix. You are too worried about you being cold, even if you love the cold. You are too worried about being cold than worried about what is this, what is that, what is this. So, especially if it's the time of winter, you stop your car, you get out the car, you take off your jacket, get yourself as cold as possible without, I'm not saying stay in the cold 10-20 minutes. I'm saying give yourself a good shock for about 5 minutes if you can stand it in the cold if you're driving. And I found that stopped in its tracks, like in its tracks. So let's talk about the other side of that. Say if you're at home, right? And hold on, make sure, okay, I make sure my mic's still on. Say if you're at home, right? And same situation. Okay. So my phone right now, the data, which is the reason why I am working, we'll put this out of the way, which is the reason why I'm working on getting a camera. So stay tuned for that. Then we ain't got to worry about the day situation. We just buy, I think, memory cards. But anyway, so say for instance that you're at home chilling again, blah, blah, blah. We already went through that part and you get one. First thing is cold water. Okay. Get the cold, go to the sink, get the water as cold as you possibly can. Put your hand on there and just keep wiping cold water on your face. Right. If that doesn't work, I said it's cold water and a fan. So get cold water on your face, be in front of a fan, let that cold water hit your face. If that doesn't work and you want another extra step, which is going to be sure to work for most people, get you a bowl, a big bowl. Always have your big bowl. You go to Dollar Tree and get one. Put ice in it and then put cold water in it. Hold your breath and put your face in that ice cold water for a couple of seconds. Up, down, about 3 times, right? And I would say like 10-second intervals if you can hold your breath for 10 seconds. That most of the time works. Okay. Another thing that works for me, call a friend. Depending on the severity of your anxiety and you trust that person, you can tell the person, hey, y'all can have a protocol in place. Hey, if I call you and I'm just saying I have anxiety, just Tell them what helps you. For me, it's just talking. Hey, I'm having anxiety. Let's just chat. And we know it has to be a conversation that's kind of like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, where I'm getting my mind off of whatever it is that's going on at the moment. I'm not focusing on my heartbeat. I'm not focusing on my, sure. Okay, good. I'm not focusing on my heartbeat. I'm focused on just the conversation, right? So have a conversation. Sometimes it could be just a person on the phone with you and it's not so much conversation. Sometimes it's a lot of conversation. Also, let them know what you need prior to having that anxiety. If you know what works for you, conversation wise, and if you don't know, try a couple techniques. Call a friend, tell them you have anxiety if you're comfortable. If not, don't tell them. Just say, hey, you know what you're doing? Are you busy? They say no. Hey, let's chat. If it's really severe, find somebody that you know, even if they're like a little busy and they still have time. It's like, hey, this is kind of like I need you right now type of thing. So call a friend, have a conversation, kind of get your mind off of things like that. Another thing is moving around or working out. When you start having a anxiety, a lot of times it's our brain is throwing more than one thing at us at a time, and we just can't catch our thoughts, and it's like overload. Take a couple minutes, start doing some jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups, and everything like that. Things that you can do prior to that, and things I'm actually working on. Healthy eating and exercising regularly. People don't know that a lot of times our foods that we intake can make or break how we feel and how our body feels. I'm on my journey to losing the weight, getting in healthier options. So as I moved into the apartment that I moved in now, what I did was I'm only bringing in 90% of healthy foods. 10% of the still not healthy foods, but 90% of healthy foods. That way, because now I had to rebuy foods for this house anyway, I'm only bringing healthy foods. Water, and don't get me wrong, I'm not depriving myself to the point where I feel like miserable. I'm like little by little weaning myself off of it. So for instance, instead of one of those big sodas or whatever like that, I have like these little mini sodas. That's just a example. I drink more water. I try to exercise 3 times a week. I'm putting more healthy options, different types. Instead of like regular sugar, you can do monk fruit. I'm not a expert in all the things. I just know what I have been doing and what I have been researching. So I'm going to share those things with you. So those are things. Now, out of all those things that I just shared with you, because I just felt as though it was important to share a couple of them. I don't want to overload with you anything. A bunch of information. I would say the one that works the best for me is the water or the ice. I feel like it works the best because it gets my mind quickly off of what I'm thinking about, and it puts me in and I'm actually like just remembering the cold. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about. So for me, the ice and the cold works. And with the ice and the cold, I find that to be better because even though phoning a friend helps, you're not, people can be busy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want something where you need somebody else. Those are options, but you want something that you could do alone that would kind of like help you kind of bring yourself down instead of having to have someone else. Because there is such thing as a codependency when it comes to is it called codependency? I believe it's called codependency when you depend on somebody else when it comes to anxiety. And that can be kind of hurtful in your situation in itself, because if that person is not available, like if you have a person that helps you with this, when that person is not available, then you're stuck with feeling like you don't have anybody, because it's not like you can go to anyone. It's like you made that person your person. All right. So I just wanted to share these few things with you guys because it was in my heart for a couple of days to share it. And then I was like, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And I didn't, and I just started thinking in my head. I said, no, you know what? I'm going to have a candid conversation. None of this big old editing, none of this whatever, and just get the information out there because it really has helped me. And I hope that you use some of these techniques and it helps you. Let me know if you got this far. Let me know in the comments, what are some things that help you if you suffer from anxiety? If I haven't named some things that help you, in the comments, let us know things that help you, because I don't know everything and some of your techniques could help me too. All right, y'all, I am about to watch some TV right now. My episode, no, it's not TV. I'm on my iPad, but on Netflix. My show of choice right now is The Equalizer, the series with Queen Latifah. That's a good show. So if you need a reference for a show, I would say watch that. I'm going to unbox some more boxes because I'm planning on having a Christmas Eve party with my family. So I want to make sure my apartment is kind of set up the best way possible. And yeah, I think I'm going to do some content tonight because I actually really like doing content. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. I'm probably gonna have a part 2 of things that help me, because there's a few more things I want to share, but this is good for right now. So see if the next time you have anxiety, somebody second help you. All right, you. All right, you. All right, y'all. Bye.